You don't yell at your elected representatives in the street. They love you. Don't leave your house. Stop trying to trade stocks. It's not fun. Yeah, maybe I lost all my money on GameStop stock, and I haven't worked in 9 months. But it's f***ing game day, and I'm an American. That knock right there, that'll be the sheriff evicting me because I haven't paid a mortgage in 10 months. I said I was moving out tomorrow! So just go out there and buy a fucking Jeep. You're driving around an empty parking lot of a school at night, and if you need to, you yell things that you can't say on social media for your own good.
Whoa, those Jeep commercials are becoming awfully realistic. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Okradowski of WeAreChange.org. A lot of important news to get into, as of course our current state of affairs have been perfectly described in this satirical Jeep commercial by, of course, Tim Dillon. We played a short clip of it in the beginning of this video. If you want to watch the full video, the link is down below. Now, today is Donald Trump's impeachment, which we're going to see a lot of political aggrandizing and lots of hyperbolic nonsense from politicians virtue signaling on issues that they're absolutely total hypocrites on. All of this as the mainstream media journalists will be eating it up and faking their outrage because of. And if these mainstream media journalists can't foment enough outrage because of their political opponents doing something that they most likely do themselves, or would be doing themselves, as we just hit the woke epicenter of insanity as an LA Times op-ed columnist just wrote a scathing piece about her neighbors that literally, I'm not joking you, kindly plowed snow from her yard, which this mainstream media journalist said led to her being victimized, comparing the nice neighbors that did her a favor to Hezbollah and Germans during World War II. Why did she do this? Well, why are they Hezbollah now? Well, they did the horrible thing of wrongthink, according to this mainstream media journalist, and believed a different set of political ideas than her. So yeah, these are the people that are our intellectual thought leaders and ideological trendsetters who, of course, set the perfect example of how the establishment ruling elite want you to be. Now, you have to be careful because even critiquing them on their own behavior could lead to you getting censored by fact checkers that even when presented a video of a U.S. Representative Maxine Waters telling Trump supporters that they're not welcome here, that Republicans should be confronted everywhere they go, according to PolitiFact, never happened, even though there's a video of. And because of these fact checkers and these larger censorship efforts, we are fully demonetized and are tremendously downranked in the algorithm, and that's why I can't recommend enough that you guys sign up on our email list. The link to do that is in the description below. Just sign up. It costs you absolutely nothing. We're going to be sending you behind the scenes special only videos just for the people on the email list. If you are already subscribed, make sure the emails are not going to your spam list. If they are, check it, click on it, make sure you click not spam. This also helps us out tremendously. No matter what happens, I will always have a list of your emails, and that is incredibly important, especially in this modern day and age where fact checkers are destroying the truth in front of your very eyes. So yeah, cost you nothing. Sign up on our email list, check your spam box, do it right now, and this is one sure definite way to keep us up and running. Now, magically here in the United States, after the inauguration of Joe Biden, an incredible thing has been happening, and that is that cases of the conholio sickness have been going down dramatically. From weeks ago going down to 44%, now over 50%. All of this happening in the middle of flu season, as today we are even getting reports of the lowest number of daily conholio sickness cases since October. 38 states have seen drops in hospitalizations, and there is a big downward trend ever since the inauguration of Joe Biden that is important. It's worth talking about, since this is a sign of good things, right? Less people getting sick, less people going to the hospital. This is a really good thing, but the problem is a lot of people are not hearing about it, as of course they're looking at other headlines like Dr. Fauci issues sobering new warning, and of course CNN saying that this will not be over until 2024. Now, even according to experts, these latest drop in cases are not because of the conholio sickness jab, but potentially from a new mutation. And again, even according to the experts, a lot of the data surrounding this new variant is still very unconclusive, and that seems to be the overall trend when it comes to dealing with the conholio sickness from the start. A lot of the experts proclaim like they know what's going on, and in reality, when you look at the finer details, no one really knows nothing. And they keep flip-flopping on policy issues, just like we saw Dr. Fauci during the beginning of this entire sickness, telling you not to wear masks, then telling you it was extremely important to wear masks. Then he told you to wear 2 masks a couple weeks ago. Over a week ago, he said there was no evidence at all showing that 2 masks work or are even better. And now he has come back after flip-flopping multiple times, and now, for the time being, has settled on saying that double masking is good. As of course now he's calling for double masking, as other scientists are bringing up what he said almost a week ago, saying that it's not grounded in science. NBC News, not to be outdone, even quoted a doctor that said you have to wear 4 masks, and all of this is absolutely ridiculous and shows you why the majority of people have an absolute lack of confidence in the system. Get your talking points straight, stop making stuff up unless you are sure of it, rather than of course worry about your celebrity and TV appearances. It's not just Dr. Fauci, it's many, quote, trusted institutions like the, quote, most trusted name in news that have absolutely found to be hypocritical when it comes to dealing with this sickness and prioritizing politics and power over, of course, doing the right thing and actually helping people. And this is why news that there's going to be a, quote, bigger crackdown on skeptics of the system is in reality only going to hinder and hurt more people. This, of course, is Facebook just announced that they're going to have a, quote, misinformation crackdown, not on all the, quote, experts that keep lying and flip-flopping and using this situation for political power, but no, they're going to go after skeptical people that are questioning some of the what's going on here, which they obviously should be questioning. As of course now on Facebook, statements like man-made will be banned, even though we still don't know if the sickness was or not man-made. Any, quote, misinformation about the jab is also going to be banned. And again, we still don't know a lot of these basic things. We're still finding them out. The situation is still developing, so why take a stance preventing people from being able to talk to each other so they could figure it out? I'm sorry, having one central authority just being able to speak on this is absolutely illogical and may lead to, of course, a worsening of this entire situation. As of course we have documented many times before, fact checkers and censorship efforts have been used as a larger ploy for political power, rather than of course any merit or any help to anyone. And this is why it shouldn't be surprising that Facebook also just hired the NATO press officer Ben Niman as their, quote, intelligence chief. Yes, warmongers connected to the military-industrial complex will now be heading the policy of, quote, combating disinformation. There's definitely going to be no abuse of power there, right? This, of course, is we just got the latest bombshell news from the World Health Organization that is, by the way, being accused of a whitewash, even by the Daily Mail. But according to the World Health Organization, their investigators came back and they are now supporting and backing the Chinese government in their claim that this conholio sickness did not come from the level 3 Wuhan laboratory that was conveniently located right in Wuhan, was doing dangerous gain-of-function data research that even the U.S. State Department had diplomatic cables warning of poor safety and security protocols, funding specifically connected to bats and the conholio sickness, which was being done before, which was funded by Dr. Fauci, that yes, it wasn't this Wuhan laboratory that was working on this particular sickness that this sickness didn't come from. So yes, according to the World Health Organization, the sickness didn't come from the Wuhan lab, but came from animal to human contact, which of course is the official line from the Chinese government. It's important to note that the World Health Organization investigators are finally in China after a year of trying to go in there after being denied by China. Just 2 days ago, they came out with a statement saying that it was plausible that this sickness did come from the Wuhan laboratory. Now they have reversed their findings, just like the World Health Organization have been reversing many of its policies throughout the beginning of this, flip-flopping, just like a lot of the other experts. The WHO lead scientist even came out and saying that this theory about the Wuhan laboratory is, quote, extremely unlikely and, quote, should not be studied any further, since, of course, not studying things that are very inconvenient to a country that the World Health Organization is bankrolled by is science, guys. And again, that's just utterly ridiculous. There's even major U.S. government officials calling it the most credible theory out there. But the World Health Organization that has been denied access into China for over a year is now telling you not to investigate it. And they're, of course, backing Beijing's explanations fully in their official response. And, of course, many critics are saying that the World Health Organization is just giving legitimacy to, quote, Chinese whitewashing exercises. Of course, a lot of the findings, a lot of the data, a lot of the evidence suggesting this heavily promoted narrative by China is still missing, and until we actually see any kind of evidence, it's not fair to jump to conclusions, even though there's a lot of reasons not to believe China and the World Health Organization on this. Criticism of those institutions is most definitely granted. And how is the U.S. leadership dealing with all of this, with this entire controversy? Well, the new Biden administration that has extensive links along with his son to China, they're getting ahead of this by literally banning the term China virus to, quote, have a crackdown on conholio sickness racism. Yes, those are the actions of Joe Biden here, along also with just recently quietly revoking a Trump ban on Chinese communist propaganda schools in the United States, as according to Campus Reform and their source in ICE, according to them, it has been confirmed that a policy by Donald Trump was rescinded that would force American universities to reveal their cooperation with the Chinese state and with groups like the Chinese Confucius Institute that, of course, bankroll many top American universities and are able to set policies shaping the minds of our youth through, of course, their investment. This is something that Joe Biden is making sure continues without any transparency, since now American universities do not have to reveal their cooperation with the Chinese state. This, of course, also at the same time as China just announced that they're working on a policy that will make their males more masculine, as, of course, many American top universities that most likely have ties to these Chinese institutions are talking about toxic masculinity. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, our political class, mega corporations, the mainstream media, Hollywood, all of these individuals are signaling about racism, injustice, but none of them want to address it in, of course, countries like China that invest in them. I think it's very fair to say that China invested in Joe Biden's son, and in my opinion, they're getting policies that, of course, are favorable to them and not the American people. And in related news with policies that are not in favor of the American people, we recently found out that the federal government is making it mandatory for any American coming back into the United States to have a test for the conholio sickness. This, of course, is not happening with migrants on the U.S. border that are allowed to come through without a conholio sickness test. And I think it's very fair to say that there definitely is a double standard here, restricting American citizens while, of course, prioritizing immigrants that will be coming in and taking more of the low-skilled jobs that are becoming less and less available in the United States. Essentially, many of them working for pennies on the dollar at a reduced rate, since, of course, they're illegal, which many businesses and corporations in the United States take advantage of, screwing them over. So yeah, lose-lose for everyone involved here under these very important critical policy decisions by Joe Biden that absolutely have no benefit for the American future, for the American people, and for everyone involved in this nonsense that's trying to make sense of it, as of course we're blanketly being lied to and being told us just talking to each other, communicating each other, needs to be stopped immediately. You get the picture, you know what's going on here, but others, of course, don't. And if you know someone that doesn't, share this video with them. It is more imperative than ever. And because you guys share this video, like this video, participate in the comment section, and get this video out there, this is one of the reasons that I'm still here. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.